Hi there movie fans, and welcome to another edition of Movies. Today we're on the starting grid of new motor racing movie F1 and hoping for a podium finish in 2025, although being lapped by backmarkers is our more likely fate. Helmed by Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski, this may work for motor racing in the same way the original Top Gun boosted recruitment to the US Navy's elite fighter school. So don't expect a critique of this environment. This is a full-on advertisement for the pinnacle of motor racing. But heck does this movie rock, quite literally in places, with ear-splitting tunes including Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love in the opening sequence, peppering Hans Zimmer's typically classy soundtrack. It's a fairly slimmed down cast, mainly involving Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes coming back to F1 after something like a 30-year layoff to help former driving companion and now racing team owner Ruben Cervantes, played by Javier Bardem, win just one F1 race to keep alive his team's hope of another season in Formula One. Not only is Pitt competing against other F1 drivers, but in typical seasoned and grizzled warrior versus youthful pretentious challenger style, he's also driving against his own hotshot teammate Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris, who thinks he's the number one driver entitled to all the privileges that entails. But this movie isn't about plot, although it's a nice believable story that focuses on a driver brought into a struggling team trying to win just one of the 9 races remaining, rather than the whole drivers and or constructors championships. In that sense, it reminded me of baseball classic Major League, which focused on a collection of has-beens and never-wills trying to win a pennant race rather than the World Series. Nor is it about acting. No one is carrying home Oscars on that score, including Hayes' love interest and racing car designer Kate McKenna, played with a subtle mix of strength and vulnerability by the excellent Kerry Condon. No, this is all about the cars. The sound of the cars, the look of the cars, what it feels like to sit in the cockpit of a rocket on 4 wheels, calculating an overtaking manoeuvre to 100ths of a second, surviving the resulting chaos, or fist pumping its success. And with real motor racing drivers participating in the movie, including Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, as well as team owners like Toto Wolff, this film lays on the excitement in spades, without delving into the physical and psychological damage racing at such high speeds might be expected to cause. If I've just one gripe, it's this: I'm not a motor racing fan, at least not since motor racing became all rather processional, but the film suggests there is far more tactical manoeuvring than meets the eye, whether on the track or pit side, or in team conference rooms or in garages, which can lead to a more intense racing experience, including shock, actual overtaking, which I can now more appreciate. But the movie conveys those machinations through annoyingly incessant, intrusive and somewhat contrived commentator commentary, as if you are being spoon-fed what is going on rather than letting the action speak for itself. Still, who cares when the driving sequences are this good and the adrenaline levels this high? This is a feel-good cinema, what popcorn was made for, and for me this is one of the films of the year. In fact, Top Gun Maverick and F1, both shiny and loud, very similar in terms of style, story, edit, vibe and pace, were made for one high-octane double bill. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the review. If you'd like to comment below, we will respond. Otherwise, do please subscribe to our channel and do look forward to more movie reviews soon.